Hi guys, it's Dr. Jared here with Hedron Life Source. I just wanted to go over a few steps that you guys could take at your home, inexpensive steps, right? Everybody likes those, right? To mitigate your EMF exposure, your radio frequency radiation exposure. One of the big things is identify where you have your most exposure to this. So like wireless or cordless phones, that's a big one. Everybody has a cell phone, right? And then Wi-Fi. Then also there are the smart meters, and then you have if you have a newer home, it's going to be a smart home, really. So you're getting bombarded by these signals constantly. But identify, maybe you don't have all of those things. So identify your biggest risk, right? And then after that, then you want to know what that risk is, as far as computers, for instance. Let's take a look at that. Computers, especially desktop computers, you should use an Ethernet cable to hardwire the computer in. Hardwire anything you can in, because that definitely mitigates the amount of frequency being pumped through the house and even through you. Let's see, I wrote a couple things down just to be a little bit more specific so we can't, so we don't miss anything really. The wireless chargers, that's a big deal too. So you want to avoid getting those wireless chargers if at all possible, and using devices that are plugged in to the charger at the same time. That really amps up the frequency. That's non-beneficial for the cells, because it actually brings up your reactive oxygen species, or ROS. It causes more oxidation to the cell, breaking the hydrogen bonds of the cell, and it causes you to age quicker. It causes disharmony in the body and miscommunication from cell to cell. Also, if you have a microwave, get rid of it. That's it. If you have real food, and real food goes in that microwave, real food does not come out of that microwave. Plus, they have the shield, the screen, I always get that. So you're protected. Not really. It puts off a lot. You can use a Gauss meter and you can measure that yourself if you don't believe me. So get rid of your microwave oven. Food tastes better anyway when you make it the old-fashioned way, I guess, right? So avoid the smart appliances whenever possible, because they put out frequencies, whether they're hooked up to the Wi-Fi or not. They're constantly putting out frequencies. If you don't have a smart meter, refuse it when it comes along, as long as you possibly can. If you do have a smart meter, I recommend that you do get the smart meter shield that we have. That does decrease the amount of radio frequency radiation by 90+%. And then lighting, blue light. I'll get into blue light in another video, a little bit more specific, but lighting, especially the CFL bulbs, you want to get rid of those. Go with incandescent. The CFL puts off a blue light and can also off-gas non-beneficial toxic metals, really. And this causes an increase in that ROS, or that free radical damage to the body, quite drastically. And then carrying your cell phone. Try not to carry it on you, if at all possible. Or another thing to do is get a Faraday pouch or a Faraday bag, a sleeve. We have those too, but those are very beneficial. Or keep your phone on airplane mode if you do have it in your pocket. So those are a few things. A couple more. Wearing those Bluetooth devices in the ear, that it can have an impact on the brain. Parotid gland is specific specifically. That is another gland that is affected. Then you have your lymph nodes coming down here. Depending on which side you're wearing it on, you're going to affect your vagus nerve coming down here. The vagus nerve is extremely important, communicating your digestive tract, your good bacteria, the signals and how they hook up to the hormones. We are electrical beings, remember, keep that in mind this whole time. We are electrical beings first. So those signals that are transmitted up through the vagus nerve into the brain, that's actually changing mood, changing emotions, and much more. But those Bluetooth devices that are in the ears, that can really cause a problem. We can get into the more specific aspects of that in another video. This is just a short clip on what you can do for your own safety at this point. So a couple other things that you wouldn't or may not think helps you with being more resilient to the EMF, more resilient to the radio frequency radiation, is time-restricted eating. Some people get that confused with intermittent fasting, or they meld the two and think it's the same thing. But time-restricted eating actually brings the level of free radical damage down in the body. Intermittent fasting can too, when done properly. Antioxidants, that's another important one. Like green tea extract is a very good one. The highest quality green tea extract, the purest form that I have ever seen, is from US Enzymes to Vigo, it's called, and that is an excellent product. I love that one. The other thing is, most people are magnesium deficient, so getting enough magnesium in your system. I choose an ionic magnesium. It's called Remag, and that one really works well because it's very highly absorbable. However, when you look at like blood labs and you find your magnesium's in normal range, so you're good to go, right? That's not very specific unless you're testing it against a hair analysis or a few other things in the lab itself. What's more specific is red blood cell magnesium, and even more specific than that is testing the ionic magnesium level of a person. The red blood cell test and the ionic tests are more expensive, of course, for a person to do, but that will give you a true magnesium level. Let's see, blue light. Blue light, you definitely, we talked a little bit about that with the bulbs, but blue light is something that decreases your natural melatonin stores. And if your melatonin is decreased, it's inversely related to many disease processes, and that can cause a big disharmony in the body. So when you're at about 4, 5 o'clock in the evening, it's good to minimize the amount of exposure to blue light as much as possible, putting lights on dimmers, or definitely not looking at a screen before you go to bed. At least a half an hour screenless before you go to bed. Taking melatonin too also helps mitigate some of that. But the blue light does affect the pineal gland, and it definitely causes a decrease in your melatonin production, and that allows the free radicals to increase in the body. So I think we covered pretty well. Actually, vitamin D level. Get your vitamin D level checked. See where it's at, because if you're below 55, that is not in what I would consider a healthy range. So definitely get the vitamin D level checked, bring it up above 50 for sure. Above 55, even better. But I believe we got all of that in. So this is my short video, and I'll have more videos like this to help you guys out, because I get a lot of questions on these things. If you think of any other questions that we can do a video on, just let us know. But thank you. Be well. Bye.